this is Kyla D. Thank you guys so much for subscribing to my first YouTube channel. I really appreciate all of the love and support that I have received on my first video. It was so great. I was extremely nervous, and getting everyone's feedback on what they thought that they liked and didn't like has definitely helped me and will definitely help me and Theo for our future videos. So I really, from the bottom of my heart, want to thank you all for commenting, subscribing, just showing me love. I love you all. One of the most asked questions I get is how to become a real estate agent. I am going to talk to you guys in this video about what I did, the courses that I took, and for every state, their laws are different. So I can only speak for my experience. When I decided to become a real estate agent, the first thing I had to do was look for a pre-licensing course. I did a lot of research. I asked a lot of my real estate friends who already had their license some of the pre-licensing courses that they took, and I decided on the Georgia MLS Training Institute. The reason I chose the Georgia MLS Training Institute was I really wanted to look for a course that was in person. Of course, with COVID, I'm not 100% sure what their regulations are now, and I do remember that they did have online courses at that time, but I needed to be hands-on in front of a class with an instructor. MLS Training Institute required you to have 75 hours of coursework under your belt to even be able to take the state real estate exam. Those hours were divided into two courses, which was fundamentals, which if I'm not mistaken was 37 hours, and practice, which was 38 hours. Each course was around $250 each, and you only had to take two courses to get your 75 hours of completion. In order to even be eligible to take the state exam, I had to pass both of the final exam courses. So I had to pass the fundamentals final exam and also the practice final exam. I do highly recommend, if you decide to go the Georgia MLS Training Institute way, that you do take the fundamentals first. I know that some of the instructors while I was there just said that you could take either or first. It didn't really matter, but I like to start with the fundamentals because I do think that it helped me to understand the practice portion of the course a lot better. If you don't want to take the Georgia MLS courses, there are other courses that you can take, but you have to make sure that they are Georgia certified. The thing I liked about the Georgia MLS Training Institute was that they had flexible time schedules. So for people that didn't have the time to be there from 9 to 5, they had evening courses for other individuals. After I passed the course, you get a certificate to be able to go and take the state exam. My instructor gave us a solid piece of advice in class that I highly recommend people doing and sticking by. After you take your course, this is what he told me, after you take your course, please, I'm telling you, this will save you a lot of trouble, try to schedule to take the state exam shortly after you have finished and completed your courses. Taking the course and then taking your state exam right after, it will make it easier because the information is still fresh on your brain. And the state exam costs $115. Step number 2, take and pass the state exam. The state exam was difficult, and I'm not gonna lie about that. I had to take the state exam twice. A lot of people, from what I've heard from other agents, do not pass their exam on the first try. I would say the most difficult part was the wording. It was a lot of trick questions that you had to seriously sit there and think about in order to even answer it correctly. I was so used to kind of being babied in the training courses with how the terminology was, because you always got key answer sheets and had all of these practice questions that were very similar. So when you took your final exam in those courses, it was very much so in line with the quizzes that you were getting in class. But when I took the state exam, it was kind of like night and day. I will say this, do not get discouraged if you do not pass your state exam on the first, second, third try. That does not determine if you will be an excellent real estate agent. The first time I took the exam, I failed it by 4 points. It helped me to understand how to study the next time and I ended up passing with flying colors. After passing the state exam, you get a sheet letting you know what your score was and what areas you did well and you didn't do well in. Then you can apply right on the spot to get your real estate license, which is $170. After I passed the state exam and paid the $170 to get my real estate license, you can either place your license on active or inactive status. I automatically received my license. It was on inactive status because I did not place it with a brokerage yet. Before I got my license, I did a lot of research on what brokerage companies I would like to work with. I'm not going to go into depth in this video which brokerage you should choose, but I will in another video. After I sign on to the brokerage company, you are officially a real estate agent and can start practicing real estate. I highly recommend after you get signed on to your brokerage that you take the post-licensing training as soon as possible. Georgia Real Estate Commission requires you to have 25 hours of post-licensing coursework within your first year of becoming a real estate agent. Another thing I highly recommend, especially for new agents that don't have any type of background as far as real estate and understanding how the transaction works, is signing on with a mentor. There are pros and cons when you sign on with a mentor. A mentor's job is to guide you within your transactions in real estate. A con is that they do get a portion of your commission. So that's pretty much the process of becoming a real estate agent in the state of Georgia. As you can see, the process isn't that complicated, but it will take some time, commitment, and some money. I hope this video has helped all of those people out there who are aspiring to be a real estate agent. If you have any comments, any questions, please feel free to DM me. And my Instagram is Kyla D Realty, or you can email me at kyladrealty@gmail.com. On that note, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I have more good information, some tips coming to you soon.